Welcome, my beautiful people, to This Week in Review. I'm going to get right into today's question. And today's question is, Fernando, on last week in review, you talked about business owners. Can you expand on that and give us what character traits contribute to being successful? Okay, good question. And as I mentioned in last week's week in review, I personally don't think that everyone is capable of being a successful business owner. It takes a special individual to do that. And I may get pushed back on that, but history tells us, and if you study major businesses, particularly who's a successful CEO, you'll find out that there's a lot of companies that had great number twos. But when they became number one, the business didn't do so well. One prime example is Starbucks. Schultz did a phenomenal job because of the reason I'm about to mention. But yet when he hired, his first hire really came from within and they didn't do a good job. Second hire, again, did not do a good job. And currently, Starbucks is not doing a great job, right? Again, if you know the history of Starbucks, Schultz put it on the map, retires, had to come back because Starbucks started to fail, brought it back up, leaves, and then gets hired again. So that's what I refer to. But let's get right into some of the character traits. I'm sorry, some of the character traits that I believe a successful business owner has. The first one is vision. Without a doubt, a successful business owner has a clear vision of what he wants his business to be, or she wants their business to be. Number two is going to be resilience. The ability to bounce back from setback and not let setback affect them has to be there if you want to be successful, because you're going to have setbacks, right? Next is adaptability. You have to be able to adapt. One of the character traits that I learned as a Marine and was pounded in me was the ability to adapt and overcome. Any business owner needs to be flexible because you need to adjust with the current market, because the markets change, they shift, and you have to have strategies for that. You have to adapt to new technology, adapt to new consumer preferences. Prime example of companies that didn't adapt and failed was Blockbuster, which is probably one of the big ones. Kmart was another one. Even Sears Robot, right, was around for years, not around today because they failed to adapt. Next is being decisive. You need to make tough decisions, make them quickly, and be confident about those decisions. Extremely important, and it's a very important character trait that a successful business person must have. Next, goes without saying, you need to have a very strong work ethic. You need to be dedicated to and believe in the cause. Now, this is one character trait that most people that get into business, they don't have a problem with this. They have a problem with some of the other stuff, but this one, not so much. But it's one of the characteristics you need to have. Next is going to be integrity. Your ethical standard and your honesty needs to be the foundation of your company. And the reason for that is going to be the next one character trait is to have is your leadership ability. If you don't have integrity, it's impossible to lead people, right? Because the people you're leading, they have to believe in you. They have to believe in your mission. They have to believe in your vision. In order for your company to be successful, you need to have that. And a person with integrity and a high ethical standard will have an easier time at leading people and builds on their leadership. The next is, how do I phrase this word? You have to be financially sound, right? Physically, financially sound. Um, you can't you can't wish for things, right? If I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that, like, and I hate to bring politics into this, but just like in our current government, and past governments for that fact, I'm not referring to a specific administration, but just like in government, we have a tendency to kick the can down the road. We're not financially sound. We're not financially stable. And as a result, we're at some point, what we're doing is going to break. That bubble is going to bust soon. Same thing happens in business, but it happens quickly because you get in business and in capitalism, right? You get punished, and you get punished severely, right? So you got to have that. You got to be customer focused. And the reason you have to be customer focused or have that character trait to understand what customers want is because without customers, you don't have a business. The next two things I'm going to talk about is going to be your ability to innovate, right? And innovation is going to be key. I've already mentioned, especially if you're looking at doing something for the long term. In the long run, those that fail to innovate will fail to exist. So being an innovator, and most business people that start businesses from scratch are innovators, right? They're visionaries. Hugely important. The last one I'm going to talk about is having humility, right? You need to be humble. You need to have the ability to receive feedback, ability to learn, and to recognize that you don't have all the answers. I talked about my business, and I talked about a lot in terms of what my first hire was. One of the reasons that I contribute to my success is the fact that I recognize that I have a lot of flaws. And when I hire someone not because I like them, not because I think they're nice, not because I think they're likable, right? Which is a major problem today, right? Again, I go back to government. Most of our elected officials are there not because they're effective, but because you think you like them, because you think they're charismatic, right? I'm going to tell you, if you follow history, one of the reasons why Fidel Castro was able to destroy Cuba was because he was charismatic, right? People liked him. Hugo Chavez in Venezuela, people liked that guy. He was very charismatic, right? People liked him. But in business, being liked is irrelevant, right? But having the ability to be humble and understand that you don't have all the answers is going to be critical. And I said that was the last one. I'm going to mention one more, and that's just having a passion and a love for what you're doing. Your passion will drive you. Your love for what you're doing will drive you. But understand there's going to be times in your life or times in your career or times in your business in which that passion is going to fade. That love is going to turn to hate. But that's where discipline comes in. But if you have that drive, have that passion in the beginning, you're not going to have an issue. Anyways, hope that was useful. Sorry for getting a little political, but I think it's necessary that we understand that, especially now coming up to an election year. Stop thinking about or stop voting based on emotions, based on likability, and really vote based on substance, meaning what are the policies that you like and want, and policies that will help you and your family move forward. Anyway, moving on. Let's get right into, and I'll share my screen. I'm going to get right into our finances, share screen, analytics. So this week we're at 37,000.93. We have 256 nights booked. Occupancy rate is at 76.28. Again, magic number for me, right? I want to be between 75 and 85%. Would like to be at the 85% mark, but I'm happy at 76. Our average daily rate is 146 and RevPAR is 113. So if you look at, again, I get a lot of questions on RevPAR because for some reason, a lot of people are confused on what RevPAR is. And RevPAR, let me see if I can bring this. I don't know if I can bring this up here, but it is calculated by it's calculated by multiplying the average daily rate by the occupancy rate and or divided by the rental revenue by the numbers of available nights. Okay, that's where this number comes from. And it's not necessarily part of what my portfolio has. It's related, that RevPAR number is related by the short-term rental properties that are within my specific area. Okay, let's go to by source, revenue by source. Airbnb came in at 15,000. Booking came in at 13,000. Booking had a big jump this week. We're at 5,000. VRBO is at almost 3,000, and others is at 875. When we look at RevPAR, Miami is at 758. Big jump this week. What Matters 239. Cottage Oasis 231. Fort Lauderdale 206, and all others at 103. All right, I'm gonna take a quick moment now to talk about our sponsor. Let me do this. Stop sharing the screen. As you guys know, we have two sponsors now. They're listed in this banner, but we partner up with Viator. If you don't know what Viator is it's a platform to go in there and book your adventure. So if you're going to Medellin and you want a bike tour, you want to do the Pablo Escobar tour, you want to go to Guatapé, that's the platform to go to. If you go to my Instagram, you'll find the link on my Instagram for that. But also Dream Vacation. Dream Vacation is a sponsor of our channel, and I want to show you. Let me share the screen. One of their cruises, so you can get an idea if you're interested in going on a cruise.
Holland America Line has allowed travelers to explore the globe in exquisite comfort for over a century and a half, with diligent service and world-class amenities. Rotterdam, the seventh ship bearing that name in the Holland America fleet, is crafted to impress in every detail. Join us as we take you on a tour of this impeccable cruise ship and its mesmerizing spaces and accommodations. The decor on Rotterdam is inspired by the world of music, and it's a spirit that is best embodied on board by the Music Walk, a collection of venues that allow you to absorb a variety of genres, from B.B. King's Blues Club to Billboard On Board to the Rolling Stone Rock Room. Plus, you can sip on your favorite vintages at Notes, an eclectic whiskey bar. Beyond the Music Walk, there are so many ways to stay engaged while on board Rotterdam. Delight in unforgettable shows and captivating lectures at the World Stage, or simply relax with your favorite stories in the library. Experience 270-degree panoramas from the expansive Crow's Nest Lounge, where you can enjoy handcrafted espresso beverages from Explorations Cafe, or even discover your ports of call ahead of time with unique interactive virtual maps. Dining on board Rotterdam offers a seemingly unlimited selection, from the laid-back Lido buffet to the grand two-deck main dining room. Specialty dining options range from Asian specialties at stunning Tamarind, Italian favorites at elegant Canaletto, seafood options at refined Rudy's Sel de Mer, or the ultimate steakhouse experience at chic Pinnacle Grill. True to the spirit of Holland America Line, each restaurant features masterfully prepared cuisines served in a discerning atmosphere. Outside, you can enjoy the sunshine at the aft-facing Sea View pool, or benefit from the central Lido pool, featuring a sliding dome cover that enables its use in any weather. For a truly secluded experience, reserve a cabana at the Retreat, a private sun deck offering blissful luxury. You can try your hand at an animated game of shuffleboard or enjoy pizza and gelato, all while savoring the sea breezes. If you're looking for a true sanctuary on board Rotterdam, unwind in the Greenhouse Spa, Salon, and Fitness Center, where you'll find a peaceful hydrotherapy pool, impeccable treatment rooms, and a large selection of care and relaxation options. And of course, your home base on board will be your stateroom or suite. Each one on Rotterdam offers the finest linens and fittings, with plenty of space to refresh each night. For the most premium experience, Rotterdam's enchanting suites offer maximum space and elite amenities, like a full-size tub and a private sun deck. Plus, suite guests have access to an exclusive lounge reserved for their use. A cruise on Rotterdam allows you to vacation in all the classic elegance that Holland America has perfected during its 150-plus year history. Contact your travel advisor today to begin planning your next vacation.
All right, guys. If you guys are interested in a cruise or any vacation for that matter, just DM me or go to my website. Links down below. They have a lot of offers, especially if you're planning on cruising in 2025. Next month, I'm going to be going to take an Alaska cruise. I'll be showcasing that. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, but specifically subscribe to my Instagram, people. So let me finish up with staffing. We still are looking to hire a maintenance person. Nothing new in terms of project progress. Hope this information was useful. If it was, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, buy me a coffee. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.